Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you've decided to join us for some crafting today. So if you were with me the last video, I was in the middle of rearranging my craft room and reorganizing. So I'm on the new side of the room now, and I don't know if my lighting is going to be better or worse. We'll find out today. And I am back to my Stamping A to Z. My Stampin' A to Z project was an effort to try to use some of my stamp sets that I maybe have not given enough attention to. So we're going to cheat a little bit today because my next one's up. We're actually Brushwork Alphabet. I'm not quite sure what to do with this, and obviously that is very true because I've never used it. And before I started my video, I did not pull these out. I didn't know which one I was using, so I didn't really get to plan anything with this. So I'm going to save this one for next time. But I also had the next three are all background stamps, and they're burlap, buffalo check, and brush strokes. So we'll use these in upcoming cards, but I really didn't want to base one whole card design around a background. I mean, we've used background stamps plenty of times, so these ones will be just intertwined with other sets. Also because the one that was next has a little bit of a background stamp. So if I need a background, I'm going to use that one, but I don't think we do. So we're using Butterfly Basics anyways, getting back to which one it is. And this was a two package set. Sorry, still allergies. And we're going to make a birthday card today. I'm going to use this fern stamp. I don't think I'm going to use this butterfly. I don't think I need this. And evidently, I am going to have to find, oh no, I don't, this is going to be our inside. That's right, because our outside is going to be pretty much all decorative. And I have used some of these before. This also came with a die set that was called Butterfly Thinlits. Most of my time prepping for my video today has been messing around with the small die. I've used these dies millions of times for so many of our card workshops. Whenever there's a butterfly involved, we usually have a butterfly die. But I forgot until I pulled this out that my little die always gives me trouble. My paper always sticks inside of it. So I tried several things this morning. I was going to try to give you some tips on what to do if your paper is sticking. I ran this over wax paper a few times to cut the shape out, thinking maybe the wax would help because the paper is sticking inside the die. That helped a little bit, not a whole lot. So then I took a piece of, I use beeswax when I'm sealing bottles of extracts when I make it for gifts. So I took a little piece of this beeswax off the side and I ran that over it. That helped pretty much too, but I did make a mess on, on the cardstock. I don't know if you can see it on here, actually on that black background. If you can see some of the beeswax made marks on my cardstock. It's not bad because it actually models the paper a little bit and kind of is interesting, but I don't know if I want that. So then I took it and I went over and I used a nail brush and scrubbed it inside, and I was able to get a couple more cut out of it from that. But this truly has always given me trouble. But I got a couple. We're going to use them. And it is a nice set. And this makes a gorgeous butterfly, as you will see. Yeah. So I'm going to stick these back in here because I've already die cut out a bunch of butterflies. And since I'm still getting used to where everything is since I've moved it, I don't want to lay those down and then not have them. Oh, what we're doing today is going to be with Berry Burst. How about that one for a surprise color? Which I don't have a stamp pad for this. And I also find, I think I mentioned, I don't have an old olive stamp pad. I'm thinking the stamp pad must have gone bad and I didn't remember to order a new one. Well, so now I don't have an old olive, but I have a refill. It's just kind of weird. I don't know what I did with it. Anywhoville, this is Berry Burst, and I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. Excuse me here. Take a swig and see if that helps. And I have cut this at 4 1/4 a long way down the center. I don't want to touch anything about my camera. I've already had to restart this a couple times because my camera keeps going off. Hopefully I have the cord secured now and I won't do that again. All right, so we have a 4 1/4 by an 11 sheet of cardstock, right? And then I measured in at 2 3/4 and scored, not cut, we just scored. I flipped my paper around to 2 3/4 and I scored this side. And then I took some Flirty Flamingo. And this is a 5 1/4 inch strip of Flirty Flamingo that I cut 2 pieces at 1 7/8. So there's my 2 1 7/8 pieces. And then the pièce de résistance. I've been wanting to use this new Zinnia paper, Flowering Zinnias. And I just haven't been making a card with any of these stamp sets where this might have worked out well, but today it did. And on the 12 by 12 sheets, there's a couple of the patterns that you can just use the decorative paper as your card because it's so gorgeous, right? But I want to use that on my strips of paper. This card's going to go landscape. We're going to have one of these at the top and the bottom, I think, is how I do it. And so I needed my zinnias to go horizontal. So these strips are cut, whoops, back there, at 1 5/8 by 5 inches. And I'll write the measurements down in the description box of this video. And so those will be able to layer on there. And then we have a piece of just white for our inside. And these will overlap the front of our card. Okay. I just love this. I've got to find a way to use this paper. This is the back side of the one Zinnia pattern with this purple. And that is, what kind? Highland Heather, and that's got to be Blackberry Bliss on the little grid marks. I just think this is so pretty. I want to use it. I want to use all of this. I like this paper. Great colors. All right, let me get that aside. And we'll explain a little bit about the butterfly dies that I did. Well, I guess I also had to take my grid mat off of here because I've gotten my sewing machine set up and I was able to start cutting out some of my fabric and I needed my grid mat. So, all right, the big butterfly die I used, and I cut out one of the Flirty Flamingo and one Berry Burst. There might be some little bits in here that I missed yet. And that big butterfly die works perfect. The little one hates me. Doesn't want to be used. So I don't know which one, or both, or none. And then these are what I ended up with when I was fighting with that small die. Here's one that I have wax on. This is the other one that I have wax on. Then I had Do you remember the mercury glass paper from the hydrangea set? Well, I thought that might be kind of fun. So I was able to get one cut out of there. I don't know, maybe it'll show up on here. That's the mercury glass one. I also had some vellum still from, what was that? Pure Romance, I think it was called. I got this vellum years and years ago, and I bought several packages of it because I like colored vellum to use on cards. So that one came out okay. That one came out okay. And then I had some Shimmer Vellum. Oh, there you could see it. And this was in colors they had like Evening Evergreen and Pale Papaya. And I think this one is that magenta? I don't know. I don't think it's the Fresh Freesia. But anyways, when I was taking this out, the one split over here. But I'm going to keep this butterfly because I could probably use it on another card. And maybe I'll put my greeting on top of that little split. I didn't want to waste it because that one worked pretty well. Oh, all right. So all that talking out of the way, right? Get over there. Yep. This was just the prettiest shimmer paper. Such a pretty color. Liked it. So let's score our two sides that were 2 3/4 inches and get those met up in the middle of our card. So I hope you're all doing great. We have a little bit of a misty day going on here, but that's okay. The flowers need it, the plants need it, the animals need it. If you're on Instagram, I did just post on my Boho Stamper site, because that's the one I still have on Instagram. I did just post some pictures out there that I had of some of my flowers out there that are, they're starting to change. My poppies are fading out, but the peonies and the irises are blooming. But we have a new visitor to our suet feeders. We are getting a pileated woodpecker. This guy's huge. Oh my goodness, when he comes here. So I don't know if you guys are bird watchers or not. We get northern flickers. Those are woodpeckers, and they're pretty substantial size woodpecker. They make a sparrow look like nothing. But when the big pileated woodpecker comes here, he kicks the flicker out. He pokes at him. I feel bad. That poor northern flicker just has to get out of the way because the big guy wants some food. So here's what I'm thinking. These are going to open in opposite directions this way. And then I'm thinking that we can put a butterfly or two. The bigger one might actually be better. I don't know. Oh, maybe together. Well, we'll see. All right, so let's get gluing this part of it together. And anyways, we could stamp the happy birthday. Oh, and I was going to use that big fern on the inside. Only because I like it. Oh, this is one that's not a sticky one. So let's just get rid of that. Oops, there's my cutter. Get a scrap paper because I think this is going to go off the end of my cardstock. Remembering that my message is going to go horizontal. Yep, I thought I remembered where everything was. There they are. I was going to say somewhere here are my little foam mats. So I hope that everyone got to enjoy their Mother's Day. I had, while I was trying to think, how did this come about? While I was rearranging my craft room, I sprained my back. And so, that was a week ago actually, that it really started to bug me. This might need re-inked, not sure. Let's see. And by Mother's Day Sunday, I certainly am not going to have to stamp off. Oh, no, I do like it stamped off. Anyways, by Mother's Day Sunday, I was very uncomfortable and barely able to walk. And my husband was like, you know, I thought I had a kidney infection. I did not even consider that it was my back. It was such an excruciating ache in my back that I thought it can't possibly just be my back out of place or something, because Lord knows I've had back problems before and that never felt like that. So he said, you know, you can't go on the whole weekend like this. Why don't we just go to our express care, and if you think you have an infection, then maybe they can get you an antibiotic. Need a paper towel. Be right back. If I can remember where I put them. There they are. Oh, I had them for stamp class. So by that time I was so uncomfortable I agreed. I said, okay, let's go. I can get an antibiotic and I'll start feeling better. So went and got taken care of, and they determined I did not have an infection and I did not have a kidney stone, that I just had pulled my back. And I sprained a muscle. I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, well, so anyways, they really didn't do a whole lot. Gave me some Tylenol, sent me home, well, sent me to the emergency room for more testing, which really put me in a foul mood. I didn't want to go there. My oldest son had made reservations for him and I to go to brunch in the afternoon, and so I knew this was going downhill fast. And I don't even want to go, but we went, and the same thing, you know, they said no kidney stone or anything, and so they gave me Tylenol for the pain and sent me on my way. It's like, oh my God, I could have done, that's what I was doing at home, you know. I'm trying to decide if I want to stamp this in. I don't have Berry Burst ink, but I do have Melon Mambo, which looks similar to me. Ooh. That's kind of pretty. So thankfully, when my doctor's office got the report that I had been there, they called and asked me to come in for a follow-up. And, boy, I forgot to check and see if that was straight, because I don't have my label on there. Oh, I tilted down a little to the right. Okay. And so I did that, and they gave me some stretching exercises and some a steroid to help with the inflammation, and then a muscle relaxer to help so I could sleep. Sleep has been not there. So that was yesterday, and I actually today feel like, because I did get to sleep last night, I'm feeling like I might survive this. So my room still is not all put back together yet. My housework, of course, was minimal while I was trying not to be a crybaby. I mean, I'm not usually. I can keep things going even when I'm sick. Let's see if this looks straight. The birthday looks straight, but the happy looks crooked. That's weird. So anyway, I was able to get to my first target practice last night. I'm going to straighten it up a little bit. And remember, when we straighten a piece of card, you can't just straighten one side. We have to do all four sides to even it out. And all I'm doing is putting my cardstock in the track to cut at the very smallest point that I can get it. Oops, I should move that over just a hair. I think I pushed it with my fingernail when I was talking to you. All right, see how that looks on the inside. Oh, that color looks pretty with that. I'm happy. Oh, I like that. I have to remember. Melon, Mambo, and Berry Burst go together well. Yay! All right. Then, oh, look at that. I have tape runner here beside me. I was afraid that I had it put someplace different. I don't know where anything is. So let's put these little Zinnia strips onto our Flirty Flamingo background. And I had decided to make this into a birthday card because my one friend's birthday is Monday, and I'll be seeing her with my group that we meet for dinner. We're going to have dinner for her birthday celebration. So this is going to be just in time. I hope she likes butterflies. I know some people don't. My mom, oh, God bless my mom. She loved butterflies. And after she passed away and we were cleaning the stuff out of the house, there were butterfly pictures and butterfly towels and butterfly jewelry and butterfly everything. And for a long time afterwards, I was like, I will never want to see another butterfly again. Until they started floating around the house, and then I was like, all right, Mom, you win. They're okay. Okay, so let me see, which way do I want? I'm looking on the camera to see which way I like it best, because this one has a taller zinnia. I think I want it on the bottom. Okay. I want to adhere the bottom strip only onto the right panel of my card. So kind of hold that, and oh, that's an empty glue. Oh, and I think I took all the new ones out for the ladies. This might have a little more in it. Yes, we were supposed to have our card group the day after Mother's Day, and I had to text the ladies and tell them, let's just reschedule this because I wasn't feeling good. So we're getting ready to do that. I have all their stuff ready to go. I just knew I couldn't carry everything up and down the steps and then stand there for a couple hours while we made cards. So you're very kind and understanding. I love my ladies. They're so sweet. Okay, and keeping this one on the left side. And trying to keep my borders a little bit even. I'm lining up my edges of cardstock on each side. And then this is how our card will open. I can put this in there since I like my colors that I have. Oh, that's why I kept that one on. I really wasn't sure about that Melon Mambo, if it was going to work. So happy that it's okay. Get this centered in here. Burnish that a little bit more and make it lay down flatter if possible. And then we'll decide on our butterfly. Got a Butterfly Basics. I know even when we did a card at the senior center the one time, but for them, rather than having them stamp, I just went to Hobby Lobby and I got small butterflies for them to put on their project that they were doing, just to make it easier. You know, I have enough trouble with my fingers. I can only imagine if some of them are having more arthritis than I do, that it would have caused them grief, and I didn't want that. So what if I offset those just a tad, only adhere them in the middle so that they'll have dimension. How's it going to open? Will it open and close nice? No. No, it will not. So maybe we have to use a smaller one, but that's okay because I have them and they're pretty. Oh, that's the ripped one. That. Oh, that's kind of pretty over the vellum. Same idea. And then maybe I have a little sparkle we could put on our butterfly's head. I think the big one is just going to interfere with opening and closing. All right, let's give this a try. If it doesn't work, we have other butterflies. Oh, come on, glue. I haven't used my glue bottles for a while. Let's see if we can get glue out of the bottle first. Good grief. Ay, 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 ay. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. I know you can. Well, now that's just not playing nice, is it? Let me try the other bottle. Such a pretty rain today. It's just quiet and drizzly. Oh, there we go. And drizzly and offset it just a hair. This would have been pretty if there was a solid die to cut out to put behind it. My glue's not holding him together. Today reminds me, with that light rain like that, reminds me of some of the days when we would go camping up at Clear Creek, which is near Cook Forest. And it would just be this gentle rain on the tree canopy, and you could hear the raindrops just fluttering down. It was always so relaxing and calming. What can we use for a little butterfly head? You know what? I'm going to set that block on there and hopefully make the body stick together a little bit better. We have them. Have, Lord only knows what those are out of. While I've been cleaning, I'm trying to go back through a lot of my old packages of when we do have card classes, oftentimes I'll put the little bits into baggies for folks. And so then I always have a couple extra just in case somebody rips or loses or drops or whatever. And then of course there's always going to be at least one person who doesn't show up. So I end up with these little bags of bits left over. And so I was trying to take them all apart. I don't know what these are out of, but that might work. Let's try this one. And then put all the gemstones back together, put all the strings or twines back together, whatever, and then package them up to put up in my little box of embellishments so that we can use them. I almost think that's too bright. This is this weird one, which had to have been out of some kind of a kit or something. And these really are hexagons, so they're not really a circle. I don't know that I like them. So let's use the little weird pink rhinestone. These were the butterflies that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby when I used them at the senior center. And everybody loved them. They worked really well. See, this is why we keep things, because you just never know when you need a delicate pink rhinestone for a butterfly head. Oh, I like it. I do like it. And I'm not even going to put any more on there, just only on the butterfly head. I don't want to make it too blingy blingy. I think we'll put him on dimensionals. Not too bad. Pretty much found everything as I needed it. I really do want my craft room to be organized enough that when I'm doing a video or whatever, and I go to reach for my paper trimmer or glue dots or whatever it might be, that they're within reach. Paper towels would have been handier too, but like I said, I have all of my card stuff ready for my group. when we get together finally next week. Where do we want them? We want them by the flowers. That'll stick up out of the envelope. Be careful of that. Oh, right there. Not just right there. Or maybe I should have moved it over a little bit because I have that big white area. Oh, well. Oh, no, it's coming. I was going to say, it might just stay here. But it's coming off. Yay. Woohoo. Don't stick to my finger. There. Yeah. Fills in that little white space a bit better. What do you think? I think I like it. Oh, his wings are going to be a little bit weird, but I really do like him. And there we have a card with Butterfly Basics, one of my old sets. And was it the flowering zinnia paper and our butterfly dies. So thanks for coming along with me to make another card. I might start, I know I don't even keep up with this well enough, I shouldn't even be thinking about something else, but depending on what our next slow stitch project is that my stitching group does, because that's going to be starting for June, I was thinking I might film my progress on that. We'll have to see how that goes, because what we've done this past month, we were slow stitching a fabric covered box. We had to make a box. And I was thinking some of my stuff is, well, it's different than what other people have done, and maybe it would have been interesting to anyone who sews. So kind of watch for that. I might add some stitching videos coming up. But until the next time, you all have a lovely weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.